Hey everyone, hey, welcome to Module 1, first main lesson for Your Referral Generator. I'm so excited, guys. I'm Jeff Talbot, I'm the founder of Your Referral Generator, and I know that if we get this right, we can hugely impact your business by helping you generate large numbers of organic referrals. They don't cost you anything, they don't cost you a cent. You're not having to buy clients and buy influence. Your door is opening and people are ringing you because you've done the work of creating a powerful personal brand that generates referrals. Now, I want you to know from the start that we're using Facebook, as I've said many times, as a conduit for generating referrals, as a mechanism to connect us to others and to share our voice and our message, and as a CRM to gather people. But what we're doing is highly relational, and it works on any social media channel. You just can't be on all of them at the one time, but it works best on your personal Facebook profile because it's a very intimate place. So I'm excited to share this with you today. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to begin the lesson here. And you guys can ask me any questions in the private Facebook group or via chat. I'm here to help you guys. Let's go ahead now. So here we are. Module 1, main lesson number 1, creating a brand that people cannot stop talking about and talking about in a good way. This should be one of your goals as someone who's on commission trying to generate referrals. This is a powerful thing. What can we do that gets people talking about you consistently in a favorable way on social media, but also in your local community? So remember that. This is what we're looking to do today. Now, there are two critical components to building a powerful referral brand. Okay, so here they are. Number 1 is outstanding service, to being really good at your job. And then number 2 is building a remarkable brand. And you have to do both of these things if you're going to generate a maximum number of referrals. Now, clearly, if you're not very good at your job, if you're not providing a professional, competent, good service, then that's going to affect your ability to generate referrals. There's going to be some negative stories out there about you. Once people work with you once, they're not going to work with you again. But also, if you're not building a remarkable brand, that's also going to greatly affect your ability to generate referrals. So we need both of these things. We need an outstanding service, and we need a powerful referral brand, a remarkable brand being built. So let's look quickly at the first one of these. Let's look at what it means to create an outstanding service. So let's look at the 7 components to creating an outstanding service. And one of the key ways to making sure that you're going to get one type of referral. Okay, number 1, you have to be known for giving the best possible advice. You have to be really equipped and up to date with everything in your industry, so you're giving the best possible advice. 2, it's important that if someone receives the maximal financial value they can receive from their work with you, they're also more likely to refer you if they get a really good result. 3, respected boundaries. Now, this is really interesting because often what we think of in a service industry, I just got to give. When they call up, I got to go, all that sort of thing. Now, there is a time for sacrifice. But if you are not establishing clear boundaries and clear areas of respect, then what's going to happen is you're not going to get referred because there isn't the respect there for you as a leader and as a professional. So very important you have established boundaries. Excellent communication. If you communicate very well, you're more likely to get referred. A personalized service. Are you just doing what you do for everybody? Is it the same closing gift that you give everybody? Is it the same kind of system that you take people through? Or are you really personalizing what you're doing because you're listening and interacting with that person? More likely to get personal referrals from a personal service. Conflict resolution. This is big. Now, we know that things almost never go exactly as you would like. Nothing is ever perfect. And when there is a conflict, when there's an error, you make a mistake, when something doesn't go as planned, you could see this as a hindrance, or you could see it as an opportunity to really deepen the relationship. And they say that the way to the deep relationships is nearly always through conflict. So the bigger the problem, the greater your opportunity to really dig in there and create a very strong referral relationship. And then number 7, is it relationship focused? Was your service relationship focused? So personalized and relationship focused rather than just What I mean by this last one is we just focused on the transaction. Sure, you personalized it, but really didn't go beyond the transactional nature of what was happening. So if you make it relationship focused, you're also more likely to get a referral. So this is when you're working with clients, this is a good thing to make sure that you're creating an outstanding service. And I want you to understand this very clearly, guys. You are not the adjudicator when it comes to the quality of your service. You are not. The only thing that matters is the story that your client tells. It doesn't matter what story you tell. You're the main character, though, so how you act will surely influence the story that they tell. And you need to know the story that your clients are telling right now. So I'm asking everyone who's listening here, what stories are your clients saying right now? What sort of things are they expressing about you? What is the story out there in your community, in and around your clients? What do they say about you? And if you don't know, then we're going to need to find out. And you must regularly monitor your performance so that you are owning the story. Are you following those 7 rules? So let's talk about how to do this. 1, you should have a checklist, and we're going to give you this as one of the action items, a checklist of those 7 things and a few other things. Have I been doing this week? Am I thinking transactionally, etc.? So in one of the action items below, you're going to get your checklist. I want you to print it out. And then B, I want you to survey them. I want you to do a survey of your clients. Now, you could think of this as a horrible thing to do, but actually it's an opportunity to have a referral-based conversation right now. So I'm going to give that to you as an actual item. We want to establish, what do people really think about me? Am I who I think I am? Because if it's off, then you're telling a different story to their experience. It's never going to work. We're not going to be able to build a powerful referral brand. So those are the 2 components to owning the story. You want to be on, have an accountability checklist where you're making sure you're fulfilling your part of the bargain, and then you want to have a good sense of what your clients are experiencing. So every transaction, you want to find out, how did it go for you guys? Where could I have been better? What do you think of me? And we've got a great survey we're going to give you guys in one of the action items in module 1. And then check in on yourself weekly, because every human being tends to atrophy without accountability. So we'll always find a shorter way to do something, a shortcut, rather than being highly relational. We'll switch back to being anxiety provoked around our businesses if it's commission-based too. So I want you to go after your narrative when you're working in the service industries, when you're serving people to create an outstanding service. I want you to go after that narrative ruthlessly. It will impress your clients and it will generate referrals now. So again, action items early on in this module are going to be to find out, what do your clients really think of you? What's your current story? So go ahead and you'll check these out when they go up. Step 1 and step 2 in the module, find out and do it. Okay, so remember, 2 parts to generating a maximum number of referrals. 1, got to create an outstanding service. We just talked about some of the ways that you can guarantee that you're going to do that. And then number 2, you've got to create a remarkable brand. What does that mean? Okay, let's look at building a remarkable brand. Let's put the bow tie on. Let's find out what's incredible about you. And so let's assume that you've got the outstanding service part done. Let's assume that you're great at your job. I can't help you with that in this particular training, but I'm going to assume that you're really good at what you do. I can see some people nodding, yeah, I'm really good. So that alone, though, will not be enough for maximum referral generation. Just being good at your job won't be enough. And you're asking me why? Why won't that be enough? I'm doing everything that I can. Well, you can provide a great service and give value and still not do these things. You can do that and not connect emotionally. You can do that and not connect deeply. I know I've worked in a profession where I didn't care very much because I closed myself off, but I did a great service. I provided a great job. So it's not enough just to provide that great service if you're not going to care deeply. You've got to, you can still not generate large numbers of referrals if you don't move beyond the transaction, if the relationship ends at the transaction. If you don't inspire loyalty, you can provide a great service and not inspire loyalty. You can provide a great service and not make people smile, guys. Not make them, when they think of you and your brand, they think, oh yeah, he helped us out. He was good. But it's humdrum. It's not, it doesn't bring a light into people's lives. So remember, more than a great service. You can provide a great service and not really actively get people talking about how good you are as a human being. And you can provide a great service and not generate any referrals. And that's hard, but some of you, I know, have experienced that. And you can provide a great service and not leverage social media at all to generate referrals. So just because you're providing a great service doesn't mean that you're going to get referrals, because you're not doing any of these things. And some of these things, many of these things, are what generate actual referrals. So what does it mean to be remarkable in your job as you go about your work? Well, remarkability always requires that we dig into our uniqueness. Otherwise, we're just like everybody else, right? There's nothing remarkable about him. He was just like everybody else. So when we're unique, that's what makes us remarkable. So what makes you unique? What sets you apart from your competition? And don't say just being good at your job. Remember, that doesn't make you unique. We've already dealt with that. We're saying, yes, we agree with you. What makes you unique? What sets you apart from your competition? And we're going to start to look at this in this module. These things exist outside of our career or our professionalism. The things that make you unique from a branding point of view, from a personal brand point of view. Uniqueness is found in our personal experiences, our deep human knowledge, not professional knowledge, and our unique relational qualities, okay? Your personal experiences are unique. Your deep knowledge about the way people are and your thoughts about life are unique. And your unique qualities and abilities to relate to people and your particular people, not mine, your particular streams of people, they are unique. So these are the things we're going to look at as it comes to building personal brand. Because every person is unique and every person has something incredible to offer. And I've never worked with a single client and not been able to find something unique about them. But we often need to dig a little, okay? Because we're used to just being external and being professional, and often like potatoes, the goodness is growing underneath the surface. And I want to tell you a very, very quick story here, guys. I used to work as a veterinary surgeon, and they don't teach you how to relate to people at veterinary school. Maybe they don't teach you that at real estate school either. But what they teach you is how to be very professional. And what I found was sometimes the most unprofessional thing was the best thing you could possibly say in terms of gaining a stronger and deeper relationship with a client. Let me explain. There was once when there was a very small dog, and it had a very smelly bottom. Dogs have these like anal glands around the bottom. Didn't know you were going to hear about that today, did you? And I had to squeeze them, and it stunk the room out. It was horrible. And I looked at the owner, who was sort of a roughish, like middle-aged man. I looked at him and I said, John, if you wanted to drop one, now would be a really good time. And he cracked up and he fell on the floor, just about. That's an exaggeration, but he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. Only ever wanted to see me from that day on. I was his vet. I wasn't his vet because I was great at my job. I was good at my job. I wasn't his vet because I offered a very professional service. I was his vet because I made him laugh in that moment, and I connected with him via my humor, via our shared sense of humor. So that's what I'm talking about when we think about a personal brand. Not just humor, that's just mine, that's just me. But everyone has these personal qualities and ways of relating to people that when we can express them online, when we can capture them relationally, it becomes incredibly powerful for you. In action steps 3 and 4 in the modules, we're going to help you dig up those golden potatoes. We're going to help you find out exactly what is unique and remarkable about you. And we're going to have an entire main lesson on that, helping you figure out what's remarkable about you. And for the rest of the module, we're also going to help you strip away everything that is unremarkable because it's not serving you in any way. So there's a lot of stuff that most of you will be doing on Facebook that you think benefits your real estate career, but it really doesn't. And it's actually getting in the way of you generating referrals. So what we also find is remarkability is describable. And I think that's important to understand. Now, for many of us, if we're honest and we ask the question, why should somebody follow me on Facebook? Why should they be my friend? Well, there's really not a really strong reason. One friend wouldn't tell another person, you need to follow John on Facebook because. What's the reason? Is it because he's a great realtor? No, that's not engaging enough. Because he asked these great questions, getting there. Because his content is so funny, getting there. Because she shares these adorable photos of her dog and tells stories about life that are remarkable. Yes, so it needs to be something describable and unique. So we want to think about that. I'm going to help you find what is describable and unique about you. So how do you create that personal brand on Facebook that people cannot stop talking about? Well, we have to understand there are two pathways to referrals. I'm going to go a little down a rabbit trail here, but I want you to understand. Number one is the client paradigm, and number two is the brand ambassador paradigm. I'm going to race through this a little bit. Typically, we think of referral generation in a very linear fashion like this. A prospect or lead comes to us. They become a qualified client. We have a successful transaction, and they become a referral partner if they liked us. And that's how we think we generate referrals. Well, if you're thinking about it this way, you're missing out on a massive number of referrals. And this is the most exciting part of the training. Because when we unlock the power of social media, when we build a brand, there is a way to exponentially increase your referrals. And a brand ambassador paradigm, the other paradigm works like this. Awareness, they become aware of you. They connect with you on social media because someone told them that you were remarkable. They become engaged and they resonate with your content. They have a strong sense of belonging around hobbies, values, passions, something. They feel like they belong. They become active as a referral partner through something you do that we're going to teach you on this training. Notice, they were never a client. And the majority of your referral partners should come through the brand ambassador paradigm. They should refer you because they like you, they know you, and they love you, not because they've worked with you. It's too slow if you're only going through the client paradigm. So be aware that you could get dozens and dozens of referrals if you do this right. It's a critical mindset switch that you must make now. It's understanding that 95% or more of your referrals can come from people who have never been your clients. Understand that. You're getting 5 referrals from clients right now. You can get another 95 by doing this correctly. How? By using Facebook to do 2 things. 1, build a powerful personal brand that the right people cannot stop talking about. The powerful personal brand that the right people who belong in your brand, people in your local community, people with influence over potential clients. 2, gather an increasingly large group of brand ambassadors. Increase the number of people that are wanting to refer you around your brand. So getting the right people gathered around you. More and more of them. It's not complicated. It's simple. But there's a lot of shit that gets in the way. There, I said it. A lot of shit that gets in the way. And we're going to have to help you to achieve these goals. We're going to have to get rid of some of that. Remember, these 2 things, building a powerful personal brand that the right people cannot stop talking about, and gathering an increasingly large group of people in your sphere of influence that resonate with your brand. That's what we need to do. So module 1 is broken down into 3 distinct areas. Here we go. 1, outstanding service. I've already talked about that. And there's some things that you can do to make sure that your service is outstanding. This will help you generate referrals. Part 2, creating a remarkable brand. We've already talked a bunch about that. Putting on that bow tie, finding out the thing about you that is utterly unique and describable, and how do you express that to build an audience and to generate a huge number of referrals. This is the whole point in taking this training. And then number 3, what we want to do right now is we want to take an audit of your profile. We're going to get some good baseline metrics. We want to see just how much shit is in the way of you achieving those 2 goals, being remarkable and generating the right kind of audience. Okay, so now this is important. As we go ahead and begin the process of building out your own massive referral generating system, I'm going to ask you to stop being transactional in your thinking. Okay, I'm going to ask you to do that. Even when it's really difficult. What do I mean by that? That anxiety. I need a buyer. I need a seller. I need business. I'm going to put stuff out there. I'm going to stop. I can't do it. I've got to do it. I've got to do something. I'm going to put it all over Facebook. I'm going to. Don't. Stop. It never helps. It never works. Please don't do any more of these things. Don't keep posting links to business. Don't beg for clients or say, just putting out those subtle messages. I need a new client. Hey, if anybody needs a stockbroker or a realtor, hey, I'm here. Stop doing that. It doesn't work. Stop reminding everyone that you're good at what you do. That's not your story's tell. Quit humble bragging and pretending that you don't mean to tell everyone just how successful you are. Quit posting sales results and metrics about how great you're doing. Most people aren't that interested. Stop publishing really unattractive closing photos. We're going to teach you how to tell stories in a much more powerful way that generates referrals. Just the other day, I saw a photo, a closing, and the gentleman was quite overweight. He was the client. He had bought a property, and I was thinking, oh, dude, like, why did you frame the photo up that way of that guy? He doesn't want that on Facebook. Like, I'm just thinking logically, you could have pictured him in a much better light, and he would have been so much more proud of that photograph in that moment. Just a small thing, but I want you to stop doing all these things. Instead, for now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to try just being you, being human, telling stories, getting a little creative, asking questions, reaching out to others pretty consistently, being active on their Facebook feed. This is just for now. We're going to give you strategies going forward. Now, check out the next main training in Module 1. There's 2 main trainings in this module. The next one will be there very soon, and it is that your voice is remarkable, and you might not know it yet, but it's going to get you a lot of attention, and we're going to help you generate referrals. We're going to go into some deep voice work, figure out what it is that's unique about you. And some of the survey work with your clients is going to help too, but we want you to know this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to express my personal brand in a creative and compelling way that gets everybody talking about you.